Extra, extra, read all about it as we will be spoiling all contents from this week's episode in this podcast recap. View at your own discretion.
You've been warned.
Welcome back, my friends. We are back. We have a little bit of a new setup. Not really. Same room, but new cameras. Welcome back to the pod. This is the House 55 pod. So glad to have you guys back. If you guys are on YouTube, please subscribe. Go check out our Instagram. Go check out our other socials on TikTok. Been lots of fun. We've got a lot of comments to address today. I think we've been put on trial, and we might need to defend ourselves a little bit.
I've been put on trial. I've been exiled.
I'm your podcast host, Noah Marano, back again with my co-host and producer, White Tiger's niece, here with us in person.
Yeah.
Trying to make a difference in this world.
I am. And I know what you're thinking, and you're right. My co-host does use Elmer's glue as his chapstick. I know we were all thinking it. We saw it. We're
The
like,
secret's out.
does this guy, use the glue stick we used to eat in kindergarten as his chapstick? And yes,
That's actually all I'm doing. It's an addiction I'm trying to shake. Thank you for pointing it out.
No, that's okay. I'm here to point out your flaws. It's actually what I'm called to do, so you're welcome. Anywho, what's on the agenda?
Yeah, we are back again today to discuss the next 2 episodes of Daredevil, which, hey, first off, I really want to shout us out because they dropped 2 episodes this week. And we were way on this train from the beginning that maybe Marvel is trying to mess around with a little bit of a new format of dropping episodes.
With Spider-Man, right?
With Spider-Man, that was the first one. And I didn't really see a lot of people talking about it. But go back and check out that episode. We were totally discussing maybe they're trying to drop a little bit of a new formula, test it out, see how the audience likes it. I first thought that this was what that is. And then after I watched the episodes, I think I garnered a little bit different of an opinion.
Okay.
So let's dive into these episodes.
Heard.
We got the next 2 episodes of Daredevil, Born Again. First episode was about a bank heist.
No, I'm just kidding. not trash. I'm sorry.
Matt gets caught up meeting a familiar character. We'll get to that in a second. And a bank heist goes down while that's happening, and he has to kind of just play the victim, play the blind guy, and raise hell at the same time, and
Womp womp.
destroy all the guys. So, and then the next episode, we get a little bit
That
deeper.
really was just episode 5.
It's really all that was. The next episode, though, we get back into more of the other characters we've seen a lot lately, and we do see, that same kind of descent into madness from both Wilson and Matt in this episode, where they're both starting to slip back into their old lives. So let's get right into this. Initial thoughts on watching this.
Initial thoughts. If we're doing 8 episodes, we do not have time for a filler.
Yeah, so this was like the main thing I wanted to hit today.
Yeah, it's
that
a little annoying.
Because we talked, you said it specifically, like I need some stuff, like some juice next episode. And as I got done with these episodes, my initial gut reaction was I enjoyed these episodes. I thought there were good things in them. But like, what are we doing? We're 6 episodes deep now. We have 2 episodes left. And I don't really feel like this story has gone anywhere. Even though we've gotten a lot of those good moments that I feel like make the show special, it's lacking now. And now I'm more in the boat of like, I feel hungry.
Join me, brother. Join me in my starvation.
And like literally we got done with the first episode and I was like, wow, that was just straight up a filler episode.
Straight up a filler. 5 was straight up filler.
And I was like, nobody else was in that. It was it. And then once you watch the next episode, it's like, oh man, that just looks like they just like jammed episode 5 in there. It didn't even look like it was cohesive. Like episode 6 picks up where episode 4 leaves off.
Yes.
And it just seems like they decided to sidetrack because I don't know if this was a reshoot to add in him meeting Kamala Khan's dad. Is that because that's her dad, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if they shoehorned that in because they felt the need to do that to set up something in the future, which clearly that is, I think, going to pay off in some way.
I've got theories.
But for the most part, like after I got done with this and then I started episode 6, I was really just like, what was the point of that? And like I would get it if we had 13 episodes.
Yeah.
But
we don't have time for side quests.
We don't have time for a side quest right now.
Yeah.
And it did nothing to progress the story. It did nothing to tell me anything more about Matt other than the fact that he's starting to get his hands dirty a little bit more than he previously did.
Yeah.
But like, I don't get it. I don't understand what's going on.
I guess the only other thing it added was pushing this other side plot of like the gangs.
Yeah,
With Luca and all that.
for
like,
sure.
You know, because obviously that kind of played into that in the next episode with, you know, that great.
But do you
scene.
understand what the gang was doing other than robbing the bank and trying to find that diamond?
No. Some up. Yeah, I
Like
mean,
that's
well,
my point. I don't know what the purpose of all that was.
he gave the girl the bag and said, "Give Luca my regards." So he was stealing it for Luca, but
Was
then he
he-
double crossed them because
Yeah.
he didn't actually give them the diamond.
Okay,
he
so is
kept
that what
it.
you thought would happen? I didn't think that's what happened. I thought Matt gave it to Switcheroo somewhere
No.
because he put it in the candy jar.
Yeah, but
the
you
end of the
remember
episode.
he gave her a bag with the diamond in it and was
Yeah.
like, "Give Luca my regards." She opened it and it was just candy in it.
See, I thought, yeah, I know. I thought that was because Matt switched it. I
Wouldn't
don't.
have mattered.
I don't know, but because he put it in the candy jar at the end, I was assuming Matt somehow pulled off something.
No, I think
I didn't take it as the robber double cross.
He double cross. I think he double crossed because when would have Matt been able to get that bag from her, put a candy in it, take the diamond out?
I agree,
switch it?
but the way it ended heavily implies Matt was the one who was doing the switching.
I think it's because the gem was yellow, and so he just kind of hid it in there. He wasn't like
I don't know. I think it was more of a Matt thing than the Robert thing. But we don't need to get hung up on that. But yeah, like outside of that, I don't really know what the purpose of the gang thing was other than just to show you that gangs are doing their gang stuff. Like that was it. And then Matt like grabs the red mask, which was funny. And then he puts it on to go hunt this guy down. He turns his stick into 2 batons,
yeah,
which I didn't know those things got busy like that. That's pretty cool.
sure.
Maybe he's got like a modification. And then he kind of just like didn't put this guy down immediately, which I was like, what are we doing? What are we
Yeah.
doing? Like,
Even the guy on the stairs,
yeah. I was like,
that guy too.
I get he
kinda-
hasn't been fighting people in a while, but come on.
Well, what his eyes closed? He can do
These
that.
are-
Oh, whoa. Sorry.
Yeesh. That's going on TikTok.
My bad.
But yeah, like I just didn't, I don't know, like it was kind of useless. And I didn't really appreciate them just kind of, while I thought it was like an okay episode, just the context in which it's placed into the season, I just don't care for.
Yeah.
So that kind of was a bummer. I can tell you don't really have a lot of thoughts about that episode because there's just not a lot that happened.
No, there's not a lot that happened. I think my thoughts on both episodes. Once I got through them, right, I was like, okay, let me form my thoughts because if I say what I'm immediately thinking, I'm gonna get so much hate because I keep an ear to the streets, okay, and everybody is gawking, deep throating these 2 episodes.
Really?
Dude, they can't breathe with how far this penis is shoved down their throat, dude. And so I understand.
Wow.
I understand.
That's surprising.
I agree. These episodes were good. Like I sat down and I was like, I enjoy these.
Yeah.
And I think I'm just coming to the realization that like either my expectations were off or like this isn't really a superhero show. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, it's differently paced than what we thought it was going.
it feels similar to season 1 of the Netflix Daredevil show. It's just like obviously like that season we don't get Daredevil till like literally the last scene.
Yeah.
And while like he is Daredevil doing Daredevil things throughout the season, like dude, this season is like, even though like I enjoy everything that we've been getting,
Yeah.
I'm just like waiting for the superhero, and it's like I think I just need to take the show for what it is and not put the expectation that he needs
That's
to get
fair.
in the suit. So I think I'm just coming to grips with like, hey man, I think I'm just gonna just be along for the ride,
Yeah.
and I'm just gonna chill. Like I don't want to rag on the show, but I really do not want to rag on the show because I've been enjoying it. So it's like a weird in between.
It's super weird. I don't
where
know
it's
how
like
to put
this
it.
is a good show,
Yeah.
but it is not good in in what we need.
Yeah.
You know, or maybe we don't even need a
It also
superhero
just
show.
feels,
You know what I mean?
it feels, after these 2 episodes, it feels more than ever just sewn together. Patches sewn together in a weird order. And I feel like they tried to make make the most of it and try and do their best. But I genuinely just like, because I agree, it's such a weird balance. Like every episode I've come out of, like that, I thought it was a good episode. But I just think in the context of an 8-episode season,
yeah.
even with the season being more heavily based on like Matt is really trying to fight not being Daredevil, I can deal with that. But I just don't like the cohesiveness in which it's sewn together.
So really it's just 5 throwing you off. If we deleted 5 and put 6.
That's the thing. Like, I don't even want to delete it because I think it's a good episode. I just don't know if it needed to be a whole episode. And this gets back around. We're like back at the same problem Disney has always had.
I will say there was a point where it's like in this episode, when I saw the bank robbery stuff happening, I was like, okay, this is gonna be like a little beginning thing, and then we'll get to. And then it's like, they're kind of dragging it out. I was like, I looked at like
you didn't think it was gonna be the whole episode.
I didn't think it was gonna be the whole episode. And I got to a point where I was like, oh, I really think this is gonna be just the whole episode.
Yeah. I was prepared for it. I was ready, but
and I was like,
it was a lot, and like I just wish if we had 4 extra episodes, I wouldn't even bat an eye at this.
Oh, for sure, neither would I.
I really wouldn't bat an eye at this. I would just keep it pushing, and okay, cool. We took this weird filler episode back to the storyline.
Yeah, fillers are fine with longer seasons.
Yeah, but not in the second half, like the near end of your season. Like this episode kicks off the second half of the season.
Yeah,
and then in 6. We get progression, but like it's not to the last like 30 seconds.
I guess this is on brand, right? Because
it is.
Dude, so like Disney, I guess they really have been doing this. They give you a mid-season finale that's pretty good. It's really good. And it's got you excited, and then they always take you down.
We thought it was over, bro. That's the exact thought I had finishing these 2 episodes.
I guess I didn't think about this as kicking off the second half.
Yeah,
but like they really just like put you on like he's practicing at the end of 4, and you're like, oh yeah, baby, we're here. And then you go right into like, we're gonna go right back down.
After Agatha and Spider-Man, we had hopes.
Yeah,
we were like, they kicked this. They finally got rid of whatever this weird thing they do in their storytelling.
I wonder if that's why they gave us both. It's like, hey, we knew.
No, and that's what I wanted to talk about.
Yeah,
that's one, because when I first saw the 2 episodes dropping, I was like, oh my gosh, they're like trying to really test this out. Then I got done with it. I was like, oh no,
they did it because they knew they were.
You didn't believe in episode 5 at all.
Yeah.
In leaving us dangling for another week.
If they give us 7 by itself and then 8 by itself, then that was definitely what it was.
100% what it is, bro. And it's like,
because on the other format, like with Spider-Man, they gave us the penultimate.
It was
and
intentional.
And
you
the
could
finale.
tell.
Yeah, it was intentional. They did it because that's how they wanted to release it. If they give us 7 by itself, 8 by itself, that's some bull crap. That's some bull crap. You knew 5 was gonna flop. Boy, if we got 5 by itself.
This would be a problem.
I would have rioted.
This would be a problem.
I was so mad.
As I was getting done with 6, that's exactly what my thought was like. They're really lucky they dropped this episode.
Yeah.
Because they would have a lot of pissed off fans right now.
All right, let's get into 6.
All right, so 6 was better. Better in terms of just like progressing the story. So, we get more. Wilson's back, so we get all the characters back to us again.
Yep.
Versus just whatever Matt's doing on the side quest. And
sorry, we probably should talk about Kamala Khan's dad, right?
Do we need to?
I have a theory.
Okay, because she also wasn't on this little casting thing that was announced today.
That's true.
I realized that.
I think the thing he's referencing of her being in California is the Young Avengers movie.
Yeah, I heard that floating around.
Either that or she's going to recruit Cassie.
You think she's going to be doing the recruiting?
I don't know.
I think Cassie is going to... Not Cassie. I think the Hawkeye chick that Haley Steinfeld's playing. What's her name? I forgot her name.
Kate Bishop.
Kate Bishop. I think she's going to be doing like the leading.
Yeah.
We saw them in the concept arts.
But just Kamala just has that personality where maybe she's just helping. Maybe she went to go get Cassie. Kate went to go get somebody else.
I definitely could see that.
Or the actual movie, like whatever is going on in that movie is happening, and like she's fighting and doing like
either that or it genuinely was just him telling that, and then when they have the conversation at the end of like you should come over for dinner, kind of like using Matt Murdock as like the
glue with these ground characters.
Yeah, like almost like Nick Fury, but like not. He's kind of like the guy.
Ground characters.
He's the guy who's just gonna be in everything. Like he's just gonna visit, and he kind of is the lawyer that has to like defend them all, especially as we get further into this Mayor Fisk thing, which I think is gonna turn out to be like he got a whole squadron together to start hunting vigilantes. So I think that's gonna be gearing more towards like what Matt's doing with all these New York characters, but. So I didn't mind the setup there.
I didn't mind the reference. I
didn't mind
it.
I thought he was good too. Like he's charismatic as hell in this episode. He's fun. So
I thought that was fun again, and I just want to get my theory out there. I think it's something Young Avengers related.
Yeah.
Because obviously she's
they're all in the concept art. She is too. That leaked concept art that went around
The
like a week
Russo
ago.
brothers denied all that.
They denied all the Of course they did.
Yeah. So
I don't know how much I believe them
So yeah, exactly. We don't know.
because somebody got
They
fired.
they came out and said those are not real.
Yeah,
Um,
they are.
whether you
very
believe
real.
them or whether you don't believe them, that's up to you. But they did come out and say that, and then there has been reports that I guess She-Hulk is supposed to be like a really big part of
Yeah.
Doomsday,
Which she also is not. in
but
the
she
casting
wasn't
chair.
listed on the casting, which we will get to.
I feel like there were a lot of
Um,
characters missing though. So
there
but
were a
I don't
lot.
know
We
how
could
much.
talk.
I don't know what that's supposed to be. We'll talk about that in a minute.
Yeah, but anyways, we
yeah,
can go
so,
ahead to 6.
So episode 6, like we see Wilson dealing with Luca, who's just very bold.
Oh yeah,
And then Wilson taking out
That was
all
awesome.
his anger in a different outlet. But yeah, so like,
bro, Luca got some cojones.
dude, that was bold as fuck, bro. I was like, you're lucky this man. He would choke you right here.
He
With
put the
no
apple-
problem.
Put the apple pin on him.
No, dude, I thought that's what was gonna happen.
I thought he was gonna jam that in his jugular.
I thought he was gonna do something bad. I think that's what they're doing really well with Fisk this season. Is I don't know when he's gonna snap.
Well, he did, but
He
anyways.
did, but I feel like every moment he's gotten like kind
when
of
he's
tense.
gonna publicly snap.
Yes, yeah. So I don't know, and maybe he
You
doesn't.
think he
maybe
dons
just
the
can-
white suit this season?
Dude, when she said when he ripped his suit, and she was like, "I grew out of it." First
Yeah.
off, he's gotten skinnier. Don't know how he grew out of his suits, but I was like, "Oh, so we're getting the white suit." Sick.
Yeah, that'd be
Sick.
hot.
But no, yeah. So that was cool seeing kind of his ordeals through this episode. Him and Vanessa. I feel like Vanessa was getting mad turned on from the fact that like he like was telling her about what happened. He was telling, and what did he say specifically? He said something specifically about like kind of joking off or laughing off the whole Luca incident in his office, as if like he was like a child, like acting out of turn or something like that. And she was like, "Oh, Fisk, you're back."
Yeah.
She was like kind of getting turned on by it. I got the vibes of. So I've heard a lot of talk on the streets though that like a lot of people don't care for this Fisk Vanessa stuff going on in the show. I don't know if you've heard some of that rumbling, but
I haven't.
I've heard a good amount of it now. Where like I wasn't gonna mention it before, but now I've heard it in like several different spots, and it's like I don't know why people are so upset about it.
Yeah, I don't. I think it's fine. I like it, and I think it adds to Fisk a lot. It adds. I think it adds to the push and pull.
Yeah.
Because like she's part of the pull. She's
Yeah.
part of the pulling him back.
Mhm.
She wants old Fisk back.
Mm-hmm.
And so like she's such a big gravitational force for him in his life that like it matters.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. So
Yeah.
like he's obviously trying to do good.
Yeah.
But multiple things, including Vanessa,
Yes.
are kind of like come back to the dark
come
side.
Come back. So that was cool. And then we get like the whole Matt learning he's a serial killer. We finally get Muse.
Dude.
So we learn more about the paintings. I thought that's very clever how he
Dude,
gets
that
those
was
paintings
cool.
up.
That was cool, bro. I'm not gonna lie, that was clever.
I'm sure maybe some people were taking notes on that one.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah, that's-
But so a lot of people have been theorizing online that we've already seen Muse.
the blonde kid.
I think that's kind of the theory I subscribe to the most.
I think so. Yeah.
I don't really feel like there's been like a couple moments I think they're trying to throw red herrings in, but not like crazy red herrings. I'm almost positive it's just that kid.
I think so. I think that would make the most sense. We only saw him that one time.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that was cool with the and the fact that the sanitation department figured it out before the cops. You know,
that was funny.
like they didn't even know.
No, they were ignoring it.
They didn't even know that there was a serial killer.
Yeah. And if they did, they were just pushing it aside. Cause
Like we're talking 60 bodies.
that was like
though.
White Tiger's whole thing with this episode, which I thought that was
Yeah,
cool too.
that
is
was cool that he was
a good
investigating.
wraparound to
Yeah.
explain more. Maybe we get more, maybe like a flashback scene with him or something, figuring out some stuff. I don't know. But he was on the trail
He
of the
was.
serial killer stuff.
Yeah.
And everybody was ignoring it. The cops were ignoring it, whether they were choosing to turn a blind eye to it or they just weren't wanting
They were just
to.
fixated on him.
Exactly.
Not
So
what he was doing.
and so we see then, in response to the serial killer, because Wilson is clearly turning this into like he's a vigilante thing, even though he's a serial killer thing. But he gets all the Punisher guys together.
Yeah, we knew that was coming.
I thought that was an interesting scene because I think we talked about heavily at the beginning of the series, like not really knowing if those cops would really rock with Wilson. And sure enough, he went in there and made his speech and dogs.
Yeah.
Loyal dogs.
That's what I figured would happen.
Yeah.
I will say though, Frank ain't gonna
No.
take too likely.
No.
Too
he's-
kindly to that.
No. I'd hope so.
Frank's gonna piece these guys up.
I would hope so. So, and man, we just need more Frank. We really do. But
I think he should be coming in.
I think he's coming back. I think he's coming back.
Next episode
Yeah,
or the
yeah.
one after.
And apparently I think, didn't we see online this week? They're talking about doing another Punisher season.
Yes,
with him.
He already has a special.
Is that what it is? Okay.
Mhm.
So, yeah, that was all happening, and then Matt catches wind of the serial killer,
Through Cherry.
and so that was where I was getting to the scene where I was like, so when he puts on the suit and he goes and hunts him down, and they start fighting.
Wait, before we get to the fighting,
Okay.
the rooftop. It looked bad, didn't it?
I was trying to skip it. I
It
didn't
looked-
want to
it
talk
looked-
about it.
It looked really.
They
bad.
got to stop with the CGI
It looked
baton shooting thing. It's not. Listen, just leave it to Spider-Man. I know he's technically supposed to be doing it. I get it.
It looks
Stop.
bad.
Stop doing it.
It looks really bad.
It never looks good.
It looks really bad.
Yeah, it's really bad. So he gets to the fight.
Wait, first of all, I love doing this to you. I thought it was goofy as hell. Not saying it in a bad way.
Mm-hmm.
Goofy as hell. When Muse is looking at the train and all you see is Daredevil just
You know
just
that one guy on
running.
TikTok who used to have the
Yes.
headphones and he just
That's exactly what I saw, bro. As he's running a 4-4
so
towards
funny, bro.
Muse, bro.
Matt be doing so much, bro.
Bro. Well, I mean, how else was he? He had to run.
I know.
So he can't fly. Or
Where are
anything.
you hiding too?
Yeah, no,
It's
he's not
just a
hiding. He just-
tube.
He's just sprinting at him for a 4-4.
Where did he come from? The train just passed by.
Yeah. That boy, he needs to get to NFL Combine. That's what he needs to
ASAP,
do.
bro.
He just-
ASAP. He would be the craziest running back, bro.
Gosh, man.
You would not touch him.
It'd be hilarious, dude. Anyways.
But no, so they get into this fight, and I will say, I wanted to, first thing that entered my mind, the very first thing as they started the fight, I was like, if I don't see Matt rinse this guy, I don't know how I'm going to feel about this. Because as of right now, regardless of who Muse is in the comics, they've established this character as just some wannabe serial killer in a costume.
Well, he's not a wannabe serial killer.
Okay, but he's killed a lot of, apparently he killed like 60 people.
He has 60
Jesus, bro.
people.
Come on, cops. What are we
Yeah,
doing?
what are we doing?
What
bro?
are we doing,
Not
bro?
only did he kill 60, he killed 60 without anybody knowing it.
Yeah.
Now we know.
So but like, as far as what we know in the show, he's just a serial killer.
Yeah,
Like, he should have no combat skills.
for sure.
And when the fight started happening, and Daredevil was kind of piecing him up. It wasn't really much of a two-sided fight.
If you saw the 3 kicks he gave
Yeah,
him,
but like, he was kind of giving him some stuff.
like Daredevil's
So
bleeding.
I had to like kind of like pause it, and I had to like look up Muse
Muse's
a little bit more
abilities.
because I was like,
Super
I don't
strong.
know, and he does have like actual powers in the
Yeah.
comics, but they have not established that here.
They didn't establish it, no.
And so that bothered me again, where I was just like, I get he's rusty, but as far as we know, this is just some kid
Yeah.
killing people.
Like a college age kid.
Like, he's just some psychopath. He's not gonna hold his own against Daredevil, who he's
And he's got
legitimately.
he's got knife skills.
Like, what? Like, the Daredevil in the comics, at least, is established as like one of the greatest
Hand-to-hand
hand-to-hand technicians in any form of combat.
Yeah, for sure. He's got hands.
It's like him, Cap, it's Shang-Chi, it's Black Panther. Like, that's
Iron
like
Fist.
Iron Fist. Like, that's like the 5.
Yeah.
And it's like, I get he's rusty, but I just didn't like that. I was like, he should like gone.
Yeah.
And then he almost killed. I didn't know whether he was gonna go too far or not. Because I was legitimately like,
I was.
is Muse gonna actually just like die this episode?
He's just gonna be the villain of the week.
Yeah. Which honestly, like, I was kind of okay with because like we haven't really had him in the show at all.
Yeah.
But I had that thought. I was
You're choking him out. I was,
I
like,
was
do
really
it.
thinking this is it. He's just
Do it, Matt.
he's-
Do it. Kill him.
Or he's just gonna pass out and like he's just gonna be taken off, and that's gonna be Muse.
What if instead of what if instead of dropping him to go save the girl, he just tied off his baton and just kept him hanging there, and he's saving the girl?
Would've been wild.
And
work,
in the
bro.
background, you just see Muse like struggling.
Matt, listen, we gotta talk about Matt was doing some nasty business these 2 episodes, bro.
He was
That the one robber fight.
yeah, dude. He
Where-
snapped his leg.
not only what did he do right before that? He like
smashed his head on some glass.
oh my god! And then he like jumped and kicked him head like neck first into the pipe behind him.
Yeah, and he fell. And
he jumps 5 feet in the air and leads with his knee like Robin from Teen Titans, bro.
He did a side flip. I was like,
oh my god!
I was like, ooh. I was like, first of all, we're doing way too much.
Yo, that was some Teen Titans Robin energy, bro. That was like crazy.
That was old Daredevil.
That was wild.
That was some pent up aggression.
That was some pent up aggression. But yeah, he also kind of gives the same like fuck you energy against Muse in this fight. Like he screamed, like he
beats the break.
Muse punched him twice, and he's
Yeah, I thought that was a little goofy.
He's getting that out.
The hand to hand, the choreography wasn't bad. I thought so when he's running at him in the train, and then he does the baton, the grappling, and he zips over to him. The initial contact like looked a lot of CGI, like when they like broke from the side and then into the fight. And then we got into more practical where it was like just hand-to-hand combat. Yeah. That looked good. I really did like that. Muse gets a couple licks in, but Daredevil's like pretty much like in control of the fight. And then he goes, Muse flips his attention to the girl and tries to kill her. And obviously Daredevil like throws a baton, deflects it, and then he starts, kind of cooking him a little bit.
Yeah.
And then obviously when he let him go to save the girl, Muse gets away. But I don't know. We'll see. I mean, from what we've established, right? I don't care about the comics. I don't care about who he is in whatever other IP. From what we've established, next time these guys meet, Daredevil should clap his cheeks.
Clap him, bro.
Like this guy should not stand a
not
chance.
even be close.
I don't even care if he has prep time.
No, fight should last 6 seconds.
Daredevil should rinse him.
Yes,
we should spend most of the time trying to find him because when we do, we should clap his cheeks.
Over.
I'm curious to see how that all plays out. I'm curious where Frank comes in.
I mean, dude, penultimate's next week, bro.
Yeah. So I'm curious when Punisher comes in, if he's even coming back.
I don't even know how he fits into this. I guess it's just the cops aspect of it. Maybe the cops are going to start cornering Daredevil or something like that.
I don't know if I want to say I saw a teaser or a clip, but it looked like Frank was mowing through the cops.
I saw a behind-the-scenes photo of Frank and Matt. So I know Frank is coming back. And they're going to get busy. I just don't know how.
In what capacity.
I don't know what it's heading towards. So
yeah, I would say probably fighting Muse and then maybe the cops show up because they're vigilante hunters, and then they come up, and then Matt and Frank just clap their cheeks.
Yeah. Can I ask you, too, before we move on to the other topic of the day, do we think it's going to really, do you think it's going to be a blotch on this season, this story, if they've kind of been building this all this way, and then literally within, one episode, Wilson gets taken down and, taken out of Mayor's office and, snaps and just kind of goes back to himself, and literally that whole mayor plot is just gone out the window?
Yeah, I think we need to end this season with him as still mayor.
Yeah, I agree.
And then either in a time jump or in between this season and next season, if we want to go down the route of him leaving the office, we explore that next season. Maybe next season.
I agree.
Next season he's Kingpin again. And we kind of dive.
Maybe he's running it from the mayoral office at that point too.
Yeah, but at least we have a whole season to flesh out why he's leaving, his motives, giving him let it breathe, take some time doing it. I don't want to just he steps down.
I completely agree.
I think we need to end the season with him in office.
Yeah.
Now he can start doing some illegal activities.
Yes. Yeah.
Just hush hush. You know what I mean? Like he's kind of been doing.
Yeah.
I do want to talk about. Because this is what people have been gawking about, and
I was gonna ask, what do you even like? What are they liking about these episodes?
The main thing is the last part, the fight scene, and how they parallel it, and how it keeps cutting back and forth.
That was really good. I liked that too,
and I agree, it was really good. But I'm talking, people were freaking out. This is cinema. This is the best. This is. And they were saying this is the greatest moment in television. It's they're just going. I get we're excited. I get it. Conquest not a top 10 villain. I understand. I understand what recency bias kind of does to you. Okay, they took a
you let them cut you down.
I know.
I'm disappointed. I thought you'd stand tall, 10 toes down.
Listen, they took a little bit too big of a swig from that Disney cup, and I understand. They want to get invited to some more premieres. I 100% understand. And it was really good.
Yeah.
the parallel. I think it's the strength of the show. I did kind of feel just a little bit that we're overdoing it.
Really?
Just a little bit. It's just like any pivotal moment or any build-up climactic moment in the show is paralleled.
Like every single one.
Every single one.
Yeah, I get that.
You know what I mean? Like I feel like they both need their own as well on top of the parallels because the parallels are great and they're really, really good.
Yeah.
I guess that's what this season's about. Is they're both trying to do better, but they're all both slipping back. I get it. I understand.
We picked up on that one.
I picked. I understand what we're doing. So I just felt like when they did it again, I was like, okay, I don't hate it. Just saying we're doing a little too much. So
no, I get that.
we'll see. I'm not tired of it. I don't hate it. I love it. It's great. It's good television. It is great cinematography. It is great choreography. I love obviously any scene with Vincent D'Onofrio and Charlie Cox in their respective roles and stuff. So again, it's good. Just maybe overdoing it.
I get your point with that. Because I do agree. Like that, the last scene was really good. I thought, but it's unfortunate. Like I don't know if that's a bad thing. That literally, like you said, like everything that we've said so far is like peak and excellent about this show. Is just that same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a bad thing or if that just means like, nope, that's just what this season's about, and that makes this season good, like on that level of things. So
like people are saying like these episodes, like this show is peak. This show is peak. I kept hearing that.
That's so interesting because I'm hearing like it's like people are mostly positive, but not all the way. Like it's not like a overwhelming.
I'm not talking about critics. I'm
Okay.
Just talking about
TikTok and stuff.
Yeah, I'm talking about like actual like fans, consumers. People that, review this stuff and have a big following. And, critics, have their opinion, they have their space. But I'm talking about more of like the voice of the fans.
Yeah.
These people I'm referring to are like the voice of the bigger body of nerds. And so they were just saying like, this is peak. And like, let's just remember, like we just got finished with Invincible and we were saying that was peak. We didn't already top Invincible. Like, you know what I mean? The show isn't better than Invincible. Like this season of Daredevil is not better than the season of Invincible we just got, in my opinion. So it's like we had Invincible's peak, and then the next show comes out, bro, this is peak. It's like let's
hot take Joe.
Let's relax. Do you think this season of Daredevil is better than Invincible?
No, I'm just saying I think live action is always going to scratch an itch for more of an audience than animation will.
Interesting.
And
Maybe.
So, like, I think no matter how good an animation is, I think just at some point, rubber's going to meet the road where most people are going to say, like, a live action product just outranks it just because of it being live action.
Interesting. I think I disagree because I think the anime community and animation community, I think, is a lot bigger and a lot more passionate. Listen, they're two completely different things. I just think where animation is just more fun is that there's no limitation to creativity.
Oh, I completely agree. Like I kind of waver back and forth.
In live action, you're limited by what's practical.
Yeah.
And yes, CGI exists, but Daredevil obviously doesn't know how to do it. So
they never did it in the first place. They need to stop doing it.
So it's like the practical stuff is good and it's awesome. And of course, live action does. It's different. It's just different.
Yeah.
It's just different.
Yeah.
So I get it. It's hard for you to compare animated and live action. But all that to say, this season is still really good.
Yeah.
I just think people are just
you think
overreacting.
They're gassing a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Well, listen, we're gonna get off this topic, but I do think I don't know, man. We only got 2 episodes left. Next week's penultimate. I don't know what to expect. I was feeling really good about this show. I still am, but
I know
this was not
you
a
gotta
positive.
Stay high for us.
This was not a positive sign. This did not get my hopes up.
Am I kind of? I don't think Am I higher than you right now?
You might be. Yeah.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
Not by much.
Not by much.
But I'm still like at this point. I think I'm just like, all right.
Yeah.
The show is what it is.
You're here for the show, and I am too in some aspects because I'm.
But also,
like
you
I said,
have
I'm enjoying it.
You have like just a different attachment to this.
I do, and but I will say though, the people who love the original show that I've heard most of, they hate this show.
Really?
Which is very weird. I've heard their points, I've heard their arguments. I just don't agree.
Yeah, I've heard some
so-
people that love the Netflix show. They
Yeah.
actually are vibing with this.
Yeah,
movie.
and like I'm vibing with this show still.
I think there's two
I'm
sides.
just
to that.
worried. I'm cautiously approaching the penultimate because we've seen this trend over and over and over and over again with these Disney shows, and we've talked about it so much on this podcast.
Yeah,
How this is just the model they do, and it never fails to veer off that course. Like we finally got some good products that we felt like kicked it out of the system, and I just hope this is not going back to what that was. So, all right, let's get into the next topic of the day. So, I don't know, what time would you say around it was? It was this morning.
started at 11 a.m.
So this morning I get a text from my co-host here. Yo, things are happening.
Yeah, rumblings, bro. They just popped out.
And I was like, what do you mean? So I went to the Google and I searched up MCU. And sure enough, this live stream just randomly appeared on YouTube this morning. And people were like,
Well,
said announcement.
yeah, I was looking into it a little bit. Apparently, rumbling started yesterday, last night.
Okay.
But
we
I
just
didn't
weren't
see
listening.
it.
We just didn't have our ear to the ground. Our fault. Our bad.
Yeah, that's on us. I was
Um,
just chilling last night.
I was really just chilling. But so this YouTube live stream starts and nobody really knows what's going on. I don't think it started for like an hour. I think it was up
No,
for
it
like a
started-
whole hour, wasn't it? Really? It did start.
It started at 11 because I tuned in.
It started at 11. Like they started panning the chairs at 11.
Because the live started and it was just Chris Hemsworth's chair,
Oh, okay. I
and
was
then-
losing all concept of time then.
and then every like 10 to 15 minutes it kind of changed.
Yeah.
It would go to the next.
would
one.
pan to the
so
next
it started
chair.
at 11 and it went all the way to like
Yeah.
4:30.
So you were locked in on this, and it was at least 4:00.
It was. I was in a meeting. It was 4:30.
Yeah, so I mean, like, yeah, because I texted you that literally as RDJ popped up. So
Yeah.
this thing took all day. I just kind of set it to the side and kind of let it happen as it happened. As it moved, I saw it, but this definitely took up the atmosphere of the talk of the day.
Yeah.
And basically, what ended up happening was the video. If you didn't catch it, I don't know if you've been living under a rock. It just panned through all the actors' names. Not all of them, but a lot of actors' names. We got a lot of ones that I don't think people expected to see. Maybe a little bit of Tom Hiddleston people expected to see. We got Tom Hiddleston's name in the lineup. We got a lot of the more recent Marvel who we think are going to be in the Avengers casting lineups. We got, I don't know why, but like we got all those. But then we also got U.S. Agent, just like randomly as maybe the 7th Avenger. I don't know.
He was like an hour.
That was
in,
kind of
got
just like
his.
an add-in, and then.
So do you want me to go through the names, or you want to just keep trying to name?
Real quick, the big thing that took up, I think, most of the talk was they just started dropping every single one of the OG X-Men.
Yeah,
And like at first we saw Patrick Stewart and we were like,
makes sense.
cool, yeah.
Oh, Beast was first.
Oh, Beast was first. So we saw Beast and we were like, that makes sense.
Cool.
He was in the last movie.
He was in the Marvels.
You know, he's probably gonna pop back up. I wouldn't be surprised if it's maybe just him. Like maybe he's just the intro. I said that to you.
Yeah.
And then Patrick Stewart pops up. And then I was like,
Oh, hey, Professor X.
I was like, okay, we saw him in multiverse.
If you're gonna have him in X-Men,
Yeah.
you gotta have Professor X.
Initial thought, he's really old.
Yes.
Then they rolled out Ian McKellen.
Also
And I was
very
like,
old.
whoa, man, they rolling out the dust clouds for this one, boy. How are they supposed to do anything in this?
I don't know. I really don't know.
They are old as dirt. I love them to death, but they're old.
Yeah, they're old.
And then they just started. They got big ones popped up. It was Channing Tatum,
Awesome.
massive one.
Awesome.
Did
Nightcrawler.
not expect to see that one. Nightcrawler popped up.
Nightcrawler.
Did not expect to get.
Cyclops.
I did not expect to get OG, like what is it? Nightcrawler and Mystique.
And Mystique.
That was a weird one. I was just like, okay,
Well,
sure.
I mean, yeah. If you're doing the OGs, she was just a massive part.
Yeah, no, for sure. I get it. I'm just surprised.
I was more surprised about Nightcrawler.
Oh, that one threw me for a loop
and
too.
I was more surprised
Yo.
about Gambit. I was like, we're
All right,
getting Gambit?
So I'm gonna let you name this, and then we're gonna get back to the Gambit thing because I have some thoughts on that. But
What do you
yeah,
want?
so they just give us the full rundown of everybody
let's
they
do
gave
it.
us.
So we started with Chris Hemsworth. Then we got Vanessa Kirby. Let me see if I can go through this here. Dun-dun-dun.
Surprised there's not a list up already.
There probably is.
I mean,
Marvel posted it in not even like a full. Dude, we got so many people.
I know. I got the list here. You want, so
I got it. Yeah. Chris Hemsworth,
Yep.
Vanessa Kirby, You got like a full list.
I got a full list. Yep.
Anthony Mackie, go ahead. You can keep going.
Sebastian Stan, Letitia
Goat.
Wright,
Goat.
Paul Rudd,
Goat.
Wyatt Russell. I'm gonna try not butcher this. Tanakwart Mejia.
Namor, guys. Namor.
Namor. And some of these, yes, I did have to look up.
Just say the character. Just say the character.
no, Ebon Moss Buckrock. That's a cool name, bro. Come on, that's a cool name.
Yeah, you said it right for
Buckrock.
sure.
It's some sort of Jewish name. I'm sure.
Yeah, he's the thing.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Simu Liu, Florence Pugh, Kelsey Grammer, Lewis Pullman. Definitely had to look that one up. Danny Ramirez, Joseph Quinn, David Harbour, Winston Duke, Hannah John Kamen. Had to look that one up. Tom Hiddleston, Patrick Stewart, Ian McKellen, Alan Cumming, Rebecca Romaine, James Marsden, Channing Tatum, Pedro Pascal, and then finally Robert Downey Jr. made his appearance.
Wild.
So my initial gut reaction to this video was they're releasing the casting.
Okay.
Especially like once we saw the chairs. I was kind of like, I don't really understand what the point of doing this is if it's not the casting. So they gave us all the Fantastic Four.
Yep.
Gave us a bunch of X-Men.
Oh, geez.
And then they gave us the newest, what can be assumed as the newest line of the Avengers.
Yep.
So I'm gearing towards Doomsday. Kind of feels more like this new team that we have going into kind of getting like mixing in with Fox characters before I think breaking into Secret Wars, which will probably open up everybody else that I feel like we're missing from this, because there were a lot of people missing.
I have a list of people, some notable people that were missing. So the biggest one was, I don't know, Spider-Man.
I know, dude, nowhere, bro.
I was
Eliminated.
Yeah, I was like, my goat, where is he?
You said his name about 3 different times as we were trying to guess the next name.
I was like, oh yeah, Tom Holland.
Doctor Strange.
Yeah, we didn't get Doctor Strange.
Just not there.
So we didn't get Chris Evans, which I don't know if I want him in these, but if he is, it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
We didn't get Ruffalo.
Dude, Ruffalo.
We didn't get the actress that plays Okoye. We didn't get Chris Pratt. We didn't get Charlie Cox. We didn't get Benedict Wong as Wong. We didn't get Miss Marvel, Hawkeye, Spider-Man, Moon Knight, Valkyrie, Wasp, Vision, She-Hulk, War Machine, Captain Marvel, Taskmaster, Ironheart, Nick Fury, Kate Bishop, Scarlet Witch, Madam Web.
I'm cutting that shit.
America Chavez, Monica Rambeau, and then Doctor Strange. Those are just the name I saw a post. Just to name a few of the people like we didn't hear from.
Some of them I get.
Some of them, like Valkyrie. We don't need you know, War Machine.
Rhodey's gonna be in it.
Yeah, but maybe not as War Machine. You think so?
Why wouldn't he be?
His show just got canceled, so.
Like officially Armor Wars is dead?
Officially dead.
Because I know it got transitioned into maybe a movie, but
Yeah.
there wasn't really like a lot of talk on what it was going to be. So yeah, I heard they were cut. They were officially cutting bait on a few different things behind the scenes.
Sad Oscar Isaac isn't it, but it makes sense.
Moon Knight season 2, that was one that got axed.
Yeah.
Said there's definitely
Eternals
not going to be one
got
of those.
axed.
But they did say Moon Knight's going to be in other products.
Yeah, which is good.
So they are gearing up towards the Midnight Suns of.
I was like, first of all, I'm just gonna say it. That 10 to 15 minute window was garbage. I hated that. I hated it. We all have lives, right? So it's like I want to be a part of like what's going on, but I have a full-time job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, I was able to like keep it up and like keep up with it, but like, what about Jimmy in Montana, who is working a blue collar job? You know what I mean? Though, what if he wants to know what's going on?
Too bad. Jimmy.
Too bad. I just think we a 1 minute gap.
Yeah,
and,
even
and
even
it
like
takes
a
up
3. I mean,
and it just takes up like an hour and a half. Cool.
They decided to make us wait all day.
Here's what's interesting.
All day, bro.
Actually, I'm gonna hold on to this,
Which is insane. I don't get it.
It's gonna be good though. Obviously, Doomsday started the movie.
Okay,
it's gonna be good. Obviously they started they started filming or production today.
No, filming is wrapped.
So production.
When production's, I'm right. I could be wrong on that. I thought production is when they officially go into like editing mode.
Yeah, I was about to say because it comes out next year, so I hope filming is done.
I'm assuming editing is what's
maybe
moving forward, but I don't know. I'll confirm. Keep going.
I don't know. Do you want to theorize on plot? Because I have one theory, And I mean, are you curious to hear it?
Yeah, go.
The Fox universe X-Men aren't like, maybe they team up with our Avengers and our Fantastic Four, but I think like our X-Men, our Avengers, and our Fantastic Four are all going to come from different universes.
Yeah, I agree.
Because the Fantastic Four movie takes place in a separate universe. Our Avengers are in our universe. And these X-Men specifically are from Fox, from Deadpool's.
I'm not sure if the Fantastic Four are going to be in their own separate universe at this point.
I think that.
Because
I don't know
I
if they're
think
in our...
there's a possibility by the end of their movie, something is going to happen that gets them to us.
The movie is starting in a separate universe.
No, yeah.
The
yeah,
movie,
yeah,
so
yeah.
the movie is taking place in a
Yeah,
separate universe.
I was just saying by the time Doomsday comes around, I think Fantastic Four is...
Maybe.
My theory is they're going to already be a part of the, at least in the MCU known timeline.
Yeah, maybe. Or we end at a point where they are... I would think if you have someone like Galactus, which is like cool, like you destroy this universe. Like you have him win.
Yeah, that would honestly be a very... Well, that's a lot of the theories that I've been hearing around going down like in this plot
Have him win.
have their universe like literally just crumbling to ash.
Yeah, and they get out.
And they somehow get out, whether it's because they do it on purpose or whether they accidentally... But like...
Well, that's what people are theorizing because Reed is figuring out.
I've heard the theories that it's like, this is going to be very dark, like by the end of this. So, which honestly I don't mind if they execute that properly.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I agree with you. Like, I think it kind of seems like from my initial thoughts of who was in that lineup, this is going to be more of like a team up to figure out who Doom is, what he's doing behind the scenes, what's going down. There's been a lot of rumblings online that Doom is going to announce himself, like Thanos did to Thor's ship. Doom is basically just going to destroy the Council of Kangs. That's what I've heard a lot of, is like the rumor of how he's going to like announce, and you're going to see like, this is why this guy's a problem.
Yeah.
So if you know, if that's kind of kicking things off, and then all these characters kind of getting together, catching wind of this, maybe Doom is starting to make some waves. I don't know, but I didn't take away that casting as being like, these are the central figures to the plot overall. Does that make sense? Like, I think the OG, like the Avengers will be, I think even the Fantastic Four will be about, I feel like the X-Men are there not to serve as fan service, but like, I don't know how much they're actually going to be in this movie. You know what I mean? I don't know if they're going to be driving characters that are like actively going through the plot like we see like the OG Avengers are in Endgame. Like, they're the ones from beginning to end are the ones saving everybody. I see like this X-Men team is more of like how everybody shows up at the end, or maybe they're in the beginning. I don't know. But I just don't know if they're going to really utilize them like super heavy.
Yeah. I guess, yeah. I mean, maybe. I mean, to make this whole dramatic announcement of them, though, I don't think it's for like a cameo.
No, I agree. I guess that's true. Yeah, I guess that's true.
For it to be this dramatic, I don't think you would do that for a cameo. So I think that will be maybe not front to end like throughout the whole movie, but they're gonna come and serve a bigger purpose.
Yeah.
Whether that's just like teaming up and helping or whatever it might be. I'm very curious. I don't know. Unless they announce more cast members, from my perspective, this is what we're rocking with for Doomsday.
Yeah.
And then Secret Wars, we're gonna get literally every character that was even even mentioned.
Apparently, we're getting
Just
Looney Tunes characters just thrown in.
All right, that's not confirmed. That's not confirmed. But yes,
nasty rumors. Stop it, internet.
Yeah,
stop it.
That's a terrible rumor.
Yeah, but this was an interesting way to do it.
I think everybody's pissed on how they did it.
Really?
Everybody's annoyed.
Okay.
Oh, very annoying.
Yeah, I get it.
Very
I get
dramatic.
Why.
Very dramatic.
I had this thing going on in the very back of my mind all day, so like I just genuinely didn't care. I almost just didn't watch it. I just didn't want to miss something if something genuinely happened.
Yeah.
But
it got spicy.
The cool pan down to
Paul Rudd was funny.
Paul Rudd was funny.
And then when it got to like Tom Hiddleston, that's when everybody was like, "This is lit."
Yeah, that was one of the big ones.
Then from then him on was the X-Men.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure. So like that's when we saw Patrick Stewart. We're like, what? That's so sick.
I hope that Tom Hiddleston is like the center of this movie. They've got to be paying off the Loki stuff somehow.
I think so. My theory was if let's say your scene is right and Doctor Doom just wipes out the Council of King, and this causes rumblings, like Loki obviously and who he is will pick up on it.
Yeah.
He'll see him coming way in advance, and he's gonna be the one to warn.
I wonder if he's getting the band together.
He's gonna get them together. I just don't think he's going to be fighting or doing anything.
I do agree with that.
He can't leave.
No, I do agree with that. But I do hope we get his announcement of like Loki is the glue holding everything, and like he's the one who goes and gets these and recruits these
I will
people.
say though, I wouldn't be surprised if Doom kills Loki.
Man, that would be tough. They can't do that again. I don't feel like they'd be able to
Because
get away with that
the
again.
whole thing of Battleworld is every universe is destroyed.
That's also true. That is true.
So it's like, and he's the only one holding it all together.
I know.
That's just a theory. I
hope not, man.
I know you don't want to hear that.
I don't even want
Loki.
that just because I like Loki. I don't want that because I think story-wise
It makes the most sense.
it does, but like it makes sense in that manner, like to form Battleworld. That would be a good way to explain it.
But it would have to happen at the end of Doomsday. Like,
also,
it can't
though,
happen.
you did all of this work to get Loki to this spot
It was a beautiful story.
in season 1 and season 2.
It's beautiful.
That was a lot of stuff to get through just to be like gone.
Well, I mean, they did. I mean, where they placed him, he's gone. He's done. Like he can't leave.
I know.
So it's like killing him would. I mean, well, everything we did with his story, if you look at his arc, is beautiful. I love his arc. Awesome. But it's like he can't do anything else.
I'm just gonna say if that happens, I will not be. I will not like that at all.
It makes the
It'd
most
be a
sense.
huge negative for me.
It makes the
A
most
huge
sense
negative.
plot wise. And it would be gut wrenching. And I want to feel that.
Like even if I wasn't a Loki stan, I'd be pissed at that decision. Be like, this is
I
dumb.
don't. But
We've seen Loki die 6 times.
Didn't Tom Hiddleston like not want to play Loki anymore?
It's not even that. From what I gathered, it's just like they just kind of finished the story with this character.
Yeah. So why not give?
But
him?
he's also said like he would come back and do it again, if this any of these guys would. Look at Chris Evans. Golly, it's been what 5 years, and he's already itching to get back into this.
Yeah, and we say Fast and Furious is bad. Marvel is just bringing everybody back,
dude.
But
bad.
Listen, I was thinking about it, and I was like, okay, if Chris Evans does get announced, like as we're going,
Yeah,
that
was.
I was like, would I? I was thinking like, would I be mad? And a part of me, yes.
Yeah,
But then another part of me is,
Chris Evans.
yeah, but if that means the movie's good, then I'm okay with it.
But from what I've heard, is that if he's coming back, he's not coming back as the Cap we know,
he's coming as Captain Hydra.
which could be really good because he plays some like villainous character. He really loves playing a villain.
He does. And
He loves playing a villain.
He's played some weird, like goofy ones.
Weird villains.
Yeah, he's played some weird villains.
Like eccentric. They're all eccentric.
Yeah, like I feel like this one would just be an evil Steve. So it's like he's still like
I could see him spinning a little bit of kind of
I do not want
craziness into
I
it.
do not want a goofy Steve at all.
I wouldn't
Like,
say
don't want any
goofy, but like
goofiness.
almost like
Sadistic.
like Joker sinister. Like where it's kind of like
I don't think
he's
that's his strong
sinister,
suit.
but he's humorous at the same time.
I don't think that's his strong suit as an actor.
I mean, that's what every character he plays in everything else is.
And I'm saying like when he does those kind of characters, not his best work. Like, but when he's like Cap, like like that serious like leader, like he's in his bag.
You
like,
see him in Gray Man?
Yeah, I know that's.
You didn't like that? I was vibing with it. Bring back the mustache. Got to do the Hitler mustache for Captain Hydra.
That would be
rough.
That would be touchy.
That would be touchy.
Especially with the thing on the other side.
Oh
of
man,
it.
yeah. So
So I don't know. I think while maybe you don't want that to happen, and I understand, I think that would make the most sense, and I think that would
nope.
be
I don't subscribe to that theory at all.
That's fair. That's fair.
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm excited about this. I did confirm filming is starting.
Filming is starting. Okay.
Yeah. So they're not giving themselves much time to
So I think there's somebody.
wrap this up.
Christopher Nolan wanted RDJ in the Odyssey movie.
Yeah, and he
turned it down because of Avengers.
Yeah.
Which is like, it's funny because that's the reason he left Marvel, and so he can do other stuff. And he literally just came back and then turned down what is going to be one of the bigger movies. Like, dude, Christopher Nolan. Any Christopher Nolan movie.
You seen what's coming out both that year? It's
Yeah.
gonna be like you know how we have had Barbenheimer, and what was
Yeah.
the one we just had?
With Wicked and
What was it? Wicked. What? Oh, he's Gladiator.
Gladiator.
Glicked. It was Glicked.
Wicked, yeah.
We're getting just the Tom Holland weekend because Spider-Man is supposed to drop the same weekend as the Odyssey.
Oh wow.
Which if that happens, bro, I'm gonna be locked
also
in.
while we're doing nerd news, you've been hearing what's going on with Spider-Man? So Sadie Sink was casted.
So she was casted.
We
as
don't know
some
who.
role. She's been teasing things.
They announced that they are casting and they're looking for somebody in their like mid 30s
Yeah.
to 40s to play a role. And then they announced that there's 2 more roles that are secret that nobody knows about.
Yeah.
So theories are going around or whatever. And so I'm excited.
We also didn't really touch on, I think it was like a month ago, they officially kind of came out and said that where this movie was supposed to be originally like a ground level Spider-Man, because like of how the last movie left off.
Yeah.
We initially got told it's going to be some huge multiversal, shenanigan fest.
Yeah. Which
they came back around recently, thank God. They heard our answer. They heard our prayers. They heard it. They're now bringing this back to a ground level event, which is
great.
very good.
Very good.
I don't know what that means for Spider-Man. I don't know how it's going to go, but I think Venom is officially going to be in it too. I've heard a lot of that talk. Not officially. I shouldn't say officially, but I've heard a lot of that talk going on. So yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be interesting.
Ready for another Spidey movie? That's 26
yes,
coming out.
I think.
I think it's aimed for 26.
I think so. Also, a lot of Batman stuff's been coming out lately. Don't know if you've heard stuff about that.
I have not.
Batman
Enlighten
Part
me.
2 got
Oh, you got delayed again.
it got delayed again, but then also
So 27 now?
yeah, maybe even later than that.
I
So
think it was supposed to come out
listen,
December.
there's this whole thing going on between Matt Reeves and James Gunn and what they should do with Batman, and it got delayed. And then Matt Reeves was saying, "I don't even have a script yet. I don't know what I want to do with the script. This might not come till 2029." He was also saying he's now switching it from whatever kind of genre he was in to more of a sci-fi-ish genre
don't do
of
that.
things. And then also now it's no longer listed as Batman Part 2. It's just an unnamed Batman film,
Okay.
which is not necessarily good, because that can mean one of two things. It can mean they're just changing it because he's completely, he doesn't know what to do with the story, and he just keeps changing his mind. He's not being able to flesh out anything, which I think is one side of it. And then the other side of it is I think James Gunn is trying to do everything he can to not confuse the fans and just kind of assimilate Batman into one thing, because they are doing Brave and the Bold still.
Yeah.
That's happening. So I don't know, man. This is not looking good that we're ever going to get this movie, which sucks.
Which sucks. 'Cause the first one was good.
Yeah. And I think there is a world where they could honestly have their cake and eat it too and have this Batman be their Batman for a minute. But it just, I get why there's troubles with that. So, yeah, lots of stuff going on, but I'm excited.
Hey.
I'm excited.
But everything still hangs on Superman.
Everything still hangs on. Don't get it twisted. Everything hangs on
Superman.
So, all right, that's going to do it for us here at the house. We'll be back next week, hopefully covering the next 2 episodes of Daredevil. Might be one.
Yeah, they just dropped that randomly.
They
on us,
really
right?
just announced that at the break of dawn. But we'll be back to do that. Go check us out on the socials, TikTok, Instagram. Go like, go comment, join the conversation.
Should we start on Twitter?
People are hot in the mailbag on Joe's Tale this week.
Hey, keep it coming.
You stirring up the beehive.
I am. I'm just sitting in the back stirring the pot.
Dude, I mean, they were not vibing with your conquest takes at all, though.
It is what it is.
Which I think also people were taking us a little too seriously in the context in which we were trying to place that take. But
don't say we. It was me.
That's fair. That's fair.
You were just chilling.
I honestly told you.
You kept your hands clean.
I told you maybe we should hold off on that for a second. But no, join the conversation. TikTok as well. Go like, go comment, go subscribe. Go like, go comment, go subscribe.
Twitter?
On YouTube.
Question mark?
Twitter? Twitter soon?
Should we start on Twitter?
X?
Oh, so my bad. X. My bad, Elon.
People aren't vibing with that? Blue Sky?
What?
You haven't heard of this Blue Sky?
It's
like the alternative.
Oh, like Threads?
Yeah. It's the alternative.
So another Threads?
For
so we have X?
For the Devil X, it's the alternative.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're not going to surpass X.
No, probably not. Doesn't matter how hard you try. All right, that's going to do it for us here. We will catch you all next week. Peace.